Blue moon alert, Aquarius. Saturn is retrograde in the sign of Scorpio, the Scorpion, throughout July. And after the 25th, your other planet that rules over you, Uranus, is going to be going retrograde in the sign of Aries. It's direct in Aries until the 25th. And also, the second full moon this month is going to be in your sign of the water bearer. So we'll get into that. That's going to affect you in a extra powerful way. That's on the 31st. Now, let's see how your ruling planets of Saturn and Uranus affect you this month, Aquarius. I'm Pastor Rosemary, the Astrology Angel. Thank you for joining us. This is an angelic horoscope transmission from your air guardian angel Raphael that rules over all the air signs, and your specific Aquarius angel Cambriel, who resides over your fixed air nature, and these are his messages for you in love, money, and health. First, the love transmission, priority. Okay, love this month is going to be affected by the blue moon, by the two full moons, one on the 1st, one on the 31st, and the new moon is in the feeling sign of Cancer the Crab. So we need to go over this to understand why everybody is going to be having a lot of crocodile tears this month, especially on the 15th during the new moon in the sign of Cancer the Crab. Okay, now the first full moon is on the 1st, and again, this is going to begin in the sign of Sagittarius on the night of the 1st, where there's 100% light. Then very quickly that night move into Capricorn, and on the 2nd there'll be 100% light as well. So people can call it either day, it's really fine, depending on where you're located in your astrocartography and all of that. Well, we're using Greenwich Mean Time. Okay, so how is this going to affect you? What it's going to do is it's going to give you the perception, because of the short time at Sagittarius, where you're going to, in the full moon, that you're going to feel anticipation. And then when it moves into Capricorn, you're going to feel like you understand what you're supposed to do, and you're not really disappointed with the energy when it comes to the areas of love, and it comes to the area of friendship or your family relationships, but basically your relationships, Aquarius. You're going to understand how to become more significant in the life of your significant others, again, whether it's friends or family or romantic interest, spouses, whatnot, or your kids. You're going to understand how to be more significant, how you can help more, how you can make sure you have a strong foundation for the people that you care about most. And you already know, and it's going to slow you down a little bit, but not in a disappointing way, in a way where you can focus and see exactly what steps you need to take next. Okay, now, we need to say this at this point. In the money transmission, when we get to that, we're going to give you a little heads up on how you can best deal with how you should plan for the future, especially for the next 18 months or so. We'll give you a quick rundown on that. It's a quick understanding that we got today that we'll share with you when we get into the money transmission from Cambriel. Okay, now on the 15th, this is the new moon in the sign of Cancer the Crab, and that is going to, again, make people have a lot of tears to shed, because they're going to be feeling things very deeply. Now, this is not a full moon that pushes out feelings and where they come at you so much. It's more where people sort of retract, if you will, and go into a sort of a feeling, you sort of go home and cry and lick their wounds kind of a thing. So what you have to do is you have to understand that people are going to be feeling very sloppy in their emotions and very kind of sappy feelings, sloppy emotions. And their emotions are not going to be understandable. But it is a good time for you to plant the seed of your ideas for relationships in the minds and hearts of other people, because that's when there's a new moon, it's a time to plant seeds, right? So you're going to understand that this is when people, although they might not be very outgoing or extroverted, they're going to be introverted during this time, but they're going to be very deeply affected by things, and they're going to feel deeply. So again, a good time to plant your ideas in their heart and their minds. Okay, on the 31st, we have the blue moon, and it's the second full moon in July, and that's in your sign of Aquarius, the water bearer. Okay, so this is going to be a release of all your intense love karma that you've built up over all your lifetimes. Or if you're not someone that needed to live a lot of lifetimes and did it all in one, well, then you're going to still have the reward of all the good things you've done for others in all the relationships of your life. So it's going to be a time for you to reap your good rewards. Okay, Aquarius, not to get into Cambriel's money transmission for you. Finances may seem to get stuck. You know, around the 25th, when we have Uranus going retrograde in Aries. Also, but that's when it's going to feel more stuck, because with Saturn being retrograde in Scorpio in July, you're going to feel stuck anyway with your creativity. But being able to carry out activities to try to combat that feeling of being stuck, that's going to kind of intensify, this feeling of being stuck is going to intensify what you can actually do, even though you're feeling stuck creatively. What you can actually do about it is going to feel more stuck after the 25th, but you'll be able to do some things about it before that. So it's like you might feel stuck creatively, but you can then do activities that will move you along in things that are not so creative in your projects, but are necessary up until the 25th. After the 25th, maybe it's just time to take a rest, you know, for a little while, while Uranus is retrograde in Aries, which will affect your sort of philosophical ideas about what you should be doing and how much you should be doing it, whether you should just have faith in things and trust, or whether you should take a lot of actions in order to try to, you know, for your financial considerations. This is what we said we were going to get to. I'm going to just, not everybody's into this, but I'm just going to put this out there for people that are, because a lot of people are concerned about it. And a lot of people who are Christian are concerned about it. And this is a Christian astrology transmission, okay? All right. A lot of people are upset about Jade Helm 15, and what does that mean? And all of the other things that are going on with the blood moons, and the fact that the final blood moon in the tetrad is going to occur in September on the 27th, and all of this. Okay. Basically, what we're getting is you need to, for 18 months from now until the end of 2016, and maybe even a little bit into 2017, up until about, the summer of 2017. That's the time period from now till then when things may get a little uneasy on the planet Earth. Okay, so what you might want to do is just pay attention to Scripture. What do for 3 days is when perhaps the amount of time when you might have to shelter yourself from the outside world. Okay? So make sure you have some kind of place that you can go for 3 days and survive for 3 days, like if you have a cellar or a bomb shelter or something. That kind of thing. Or somebody that you know that has those things. Just 3 days. A cellar, somebody has a bomb shelter, or, anything like that. Okay? Also, that's only for 3 days. Now, there's also something in Scripture that talks about 5 months of wishing you were dead, but you cannot die. What would cause 5 months of this kind of situation? Okay. 5 months where you cannot get at everything you need. You might have your basics and you don't have to be in a cellar or a bomb shelter, but there's not so much of a land of plenty around you for 5 months. So why don't you just say 6 months just to make sure? And then why don't we just say for 6 months you need to make sure that you're stocked up on things you just can't live without. Say you really like Fritos corn chips, for example. Well, have a extra bag, or make sure you have an extra bag stockpiled for 6 months. You can have a bag of Fritos corn chips every single day that you can't live without, and without them, you're in hell, okay? So have 1 bag every day, or 2, if you really want to stock up 2 bags of Fritos corn chips every day for 6 months. Something you can't live without. And that's a little more serious than that. It's not as serious maybe as needing water. But it's like, say, you need certain vitamins or medications to maintain your, just maintain a homeostasis. That's what we're talking about. We're trying to make it light and be a little silly because we don't want people to get all up in a tizzy. Because there's always other ways to attain things, Like if you cannot find a certain vitamin, there's certain herbs that or plants that will give you the same vitamins. That's all we're talking about. And so people who have been good preppers are going to be invaluable because they know what to do. Okay, so that's what we have gotten thus far. Okay? Now we're going to move into your health transmission from Cambriel Aquarius. Okay, for health, you might have some difficulty with the legs and the sexual organs, during this Saturn retrograde in Scorpio this month. So what you want to do is make sure you're getting enough exercise. No matter who you are, what situation you're in, try to get whatever kind of exercise, a moving of the body. There's all kinds of, things people can do in various situations to make sure that their bodies are moving. Our bodies were made to move. Cars that are stuck in a garage for years that are being pampered need to be taken out and driven every now and then is what we're talking about. Okay, so just that kind of thing. So it's the root chakra that's going to be affected in the legs in this manner during July. So chakra work, if you're going to be working with chakras, you're going to be working with the root chakra, the first chakra. Now, chakra work can be dangerous. It is powerful, so make sure you talk to an expert if you're not an expert yourself. And if you really have deep health concerns, talk to a licensed physician who is allopathic, naturopathic, homeopathic, or people who are experts in like Chinese medicine, like acupuncturists, those kind of people. And if you're doing chakra work, if you're not an expert yourself, check with Qigong masters, Kali Masada masters, yoga masters, people like that, martial arts masters. Okay, now we're going to get to the highlights. We have 2 planets to go over, so let's get through these. All right. Saturn. These are what we've highlighted we feel are important for you, your afterglow. Okay, Saturn. Saturn, remember, it's retrograde in Scorpio throughout July. The first is a full moon in Sagittarius. It quickly moves into Capricorn. It's 100% light on the first and the second, according to the Greenwich Mean Time. That's the full moon, the first one. On the 8th, there's Mercury in conjunct, that's challenging Saturn. The 15th, new moon in Cancer. On the 21st, Sun trine Saturn. On the 22nd, Mercury trine Saturn. And on the 31st, the full moon or the blue moon in Aquarius, your sign. So you're going to have an extra surge up from the root chakra to the crown chakra. And the 21st to the 22nd, you've got a lot of good aspects with Leo and Gemini and Virgo. Okay. Now for the planet Uranus, the facets and aspects we thought were helpful for you. Remember, Uranus is direct in Aries until the 25th when Uranus goes retrograde in Aries. And that's when we thought you might get more stuck in some of these situations. Okay, on the 1st, there is a full moon in Sagittarius. Again, it quickly moves into Capricorn. On the 2nd, Mercury is sextile Uranus. On the 13th, Sun square Uranus. On the 15th, again, that's the new moon in Cancer. On the 19th, Mercury is square Uranus aspect. On the 25th, Mars square Uranus. And on the 31st is a full moon or blue moon again in Aquarius. And remember that Uranus is retrograde in Aries, which affects your ability to take action on going. It goes retrograde on the 25th in Aries, and Uranus is direct in Aries until the 25th. On the 25th, it goes retrograde until December 25th, till Christmas of 2015 this year. So you might feel that you cannot take action until December of this year. So remember, this is due to these aspects. So if you're going to do things that aren't creative but are more sort of, you're going to do common sense things, do that before the 25th of July and get it done so you can rest until December 25th, because you're going to be with Uranus retrograde in Aries. It'll be hard for you to take these kind of common sense actions. You want to reap the rewards of the actions you've already taken. So take those actions now, not in a rushed way. We've talked about this during this transmission. So just understand that you've already made your preparations. You're fine. Just move through it and all is well. Just remain calm and be methodical. All is well. Because everybody is given gifts by God. And God isn't going to give you any kind of challenge that you can't deal with. And if you need something, pray for it. It'll be there. All right. Thank you for joining us, Aquarius. I'm Pastor Rosemary, the Astrology Angel. Join us again next month.